Hello everyone, I'm Electro. Before the video starts, I just want to say a big thank you to anyone who watched my last video. All the support really gained my confidence a lot more, and it's shown that my opinion is welcome on this platform, and it's amazing. This is my dream. I've always wanted to do this, and I'll be covering a lot more of these games I played in my childhood, and once I've got those done, I'll cover some newer games, but at the moment I'll just cover some simple DS games, maybe with a couple special people, but you'll wait and see. And yeah, let's get into the video. Mario Kart DS is the first ever Mario Kart game I got, and looking back at it today, I still love the game, and I've played it so many times now. Yes, some of the courses do get a bit repetitive, and I don't like quite a lot of them, but the ones that I do like, I love. And this game honestly doesn't get enough praise as it really should. Once again, these are all my opinion. If you don't like the game, it's entirely fine. Respect your opinion. And yeah, but coming back to it, the game borrows a lot of aesthetic features from Mario Kart Double Dash, even some from Mario Kart 64, but it expands on them in the way that fits the DS's hardware and fits what capabilities it could do at the time. Looking at some of the newer games like the Nintendo Switch Mario Kart, it basically just ported over the one from the Wii U, which is magnificent because it's portable and absolutely amazing. But I still think Mario Kart DS is a lot better because it lacks something the newer games do have, which is personality. The newer games, I think, heavily rely on courses from previous games, and a lot of the courses I don't like in Mario Kart 8, and I think that's why I love this game so much. All of the courses are original in their own way, and yes, there is some duds. I will be covering that soon. The meat of the game really comes from the courses, because you can't simply have a Mario Kart game without good courses, and this game definitely does pack a lot of courses that I love. It's remade a ton of courses that I love, and I'll definitely be talking about a couple courses, but I'm only going to be talking about some of them I remember, and the ones I love. First course I'll be talking about is Figure 8 Circuit. I remember this course incredibly well, and I honestly think it's pretty average, but the reason why I'm talking about it is because it's the first course of the game. It gives the person the impression of what they're about to experience, and Figure 8 Circuit, like a 1-1 in a Mario game, is pretty simple. It has a simple design and gets people used to the controls for the more complex levels. Now, Bowser's Castle in this game is, I think it's the best Bowser's Castle in any Mario Kart game. And that's because I remember the entire course from start to finish. And it's because of a couple features that I would like to see be returned in future games, but I know they won't bring them back because it just wouldn't work in multiplayer. But what I remember about it is, first off, the rotating pillar at the start, the thing that you have to drive through, where it automatically, like the conveyor belt that pulls you around, has two different exits to it. You have the left exit, which has the thwomps, and then you have the right exit, which just takes you all the way up. Now, this bit where it takes you all the way up, I always love to knock down NPCs. I never played this game online, sadly. I was too young to know there was an online component to it, but I always love to mess with the NPCs in this game, and this is the perfect course for doing so, because the next bit you get to is my favourite part of any Mario Kart course of all time. The rotating pillar. It's simple, but it's so fun to go onto. So in this part, there is two sections. You have a rotating pillar, which everyone goes to. You can either drop off, go to the left, and go to the first pathway, or you can keep going on the pillar and steady yourself and then go up, which gives you, it's a short time save, but it's so fun to knock people down on. think a lot of people would agree with me. And yeah, the rest of the course is pretty bland, I must say. The blocks which you have to drive on do move around, which is a nice feature. But I think this course is so simple, yet so complicated that it's amazing. I love it, and yeah. Now Rainbow Road, I love Rainbow Road, and I still love it to this day. But there is one Rainbow Road that beats it, and I will talk about this in a future video, probably in a tier list or some different format. But this Rainbow Road takes a lot of features from other Rainbow Roads and mashes them together in one of the best styles I've seen. There's definitely more to desire in the course, but considering that Rainbow Road is the last course of the game, most likely the most annoying course in the entire game, it's simple. It introduced loop-de-loops, and yeah, they do fit in the game, but I see why they're not really in any future games. And loop-de-loops, I can mess up easily on. If you even touch the corner, you can fly everywhere. They mess up the game. They're fun to use, but I wouldn't see them. I wouldn't like to see them return. I don't think they fit in the game very well, but they do add another bit of originality to the Rainbow Road in this game, and that's why I love this Rainbow Road. But I do think the GameCube version is superior. Now, Luigi's Mansion. I never actually knew Luigi's Mansion was a game back then, and this course always stunned me for the one that I don't understand why you're not in the mansion for longer. And I do know there is a battle track in Mario Kart 8 that has you in the mansion, I believe, but I think this course is the best representation of it in any of the Mario Kart games. It is simple, but the reason why I love it is because of the back area, and the back area is amazing. The trees are something that adds a little bit of difficulty, and I'm not sure if they're RNG based. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure if they're randomized or in order, but whenever I was playing the course, I would always think that to not go in that area and to always go in the side area and always try to avoid them, because I knew they could mess you up easily, and I've been messed up a lot by them. This course is pretty simple, but it's definitely a fun one to play, and it's one that I think neatly ties in the Luigi Mansion games, and that's why I think I love it so much. Now, I'll only probably touch on one retro course, because the ones in this game aren't that memorable to me. Yes, there is probably some ones I'm forgetting about, but there's one I always remembered, and it was from the Sky level. I cannot remember the name of this course, but I can remember its design was simple but beautiful. I know it was a retro track just because I've played the previous games and there's courses exactly like it. And why I love it is because it's a track that's been transformed into something that can still work in a newer game, and it shows that Nintendo has the capabilities to do stuff like this, but not change it too much, not recognizable whatsoever. Like, even in Cheeseland in the new Mario Kart, that you can barely recognize it from the original Game Boy Advance variant, and that's what I don't like about it. I just want something simple that you can play on that, yes, it might be a bit bland, but it makes up for that for being a classic course that's still memorable and amazing. One thing I haven't covered yet is the mission mode, and the mission mode I won't be covering entirely on, but it's something that they should have brought back to newer Mario Kart games, and I've played it a couple times over. It is incredibly simple to do, but I think it's original enough that it would be fun to bring to the new Mario Kart games, and it will add an extra single-player component. The missions in these games do take a lot of elements from Mario 64 DS and Mario 64 overall, but I think all the different missions are absolutely amazing. I've completed all of them on Freestar, and I love them. They're simple, and that's all I really have to say about them. They're definitely something that you can play for a couple hours, but that's it. The inclusion of them shows how Nintendo cared for us back then. I don't think they care as much now, due to only giving us some bare content. Now, there was the extra component of the battle mode, which I did play a little bit, and it did have some courses in it. I won't be covering them. I don't think it's a big enough component of the game to really cover, but battle mode does provide a second experience for people who don't like racing all the time, and I think it was a lot better when online multiplayer was still a thing. You can still do local multiplayer, it's not the same, but when online multiplayer was a thing, I never played it, but I would have imagined it would have been incredibly fun to do battle mode and even some races on. But that's still up to speculation. I've never played it. I don't have much opinion on it. Now, I haven't covered everything about this game. I've left out quite a lot of features, and there's a specific reason for this. I have a special guest, and it's amazing that I get to do this. And he also loved the game. He did grow up with it, and I'll leave it to him to introduce himself.
Hey guys, AJC here, and I love Mario Kart DS, same as Electro, and he asked me to share my favorite power-ups from the game. Here's my top 3. My number 3 has to be the fake item box. It just place it in front of another item box, a real item box, and they just go for the item, and they just immediately, they think they got the item box, but nope, it's a fake one. And I think it's great for people to do that and prank people and stuff. And number 2, it has to be the bullet bill, because with the bullet bill, you can basically go from 8th to 5th, and you can get really close to 1st, and it gives you a long boost for a good 30 seconds or so across the field, across the racetrack unassisted. And my number 1 has to be the superstar, because it's fun to just wreak havoc with a star. I tell you, it's great, and it's the music. I tell you, the music for the star is just amazing, and I love the music for Mario Kart. I love it. Also, I want to talk about the fact that there's a couple unused items. The first unused item is the chain chomp for Mario Kart Double Dash, and that was replaced with the bullet bill. And early prototypes, it's in the roulette wheel, it's just not accessible. And as well as the Bowser shell, that didn't get replaced with anything. And now, according to the cutting room floor, there's some extra bits left over in the game of Professor Egad that he may have been playable at some point. And what I kind of think is crazy. Interesting, obviously, Rob, because it's the first non-Mario character to be put in Mario Kart. Technically, if you don't count the arcade machines. But those aren't made by Nintendo, technically, so I don't count them. Alright, guys. Thanks so much for having me, Electro. Thanks again, man. I appreciate it. I'll see ya.
Thank you so much, AJ, for being in the video. It's amazing. Have someone else here. I will have some other guests. Make sure to look out for that. Some very special ones that might be on this series that I'm going to do. So yeah, as AJ said, it was definitely an interesting pick for Nintendo to use the Nintendo Entertainment System accessory Rob in this game. Definitely was an obscure choice compared to some of the choices they've made in today's Mario Kart games, like Link and some of the Animal Crossing characters. But I think for a character to be introduced for the first time that's a non-Mario character, I think they made the right choice. It is definitely obscure, but I think they were just testing the waters for what people would think in the mainline games. Yes, there is the Mario Kart GP games that AJ did talk about a little bit, but for a mainline Mario game to have a character that's not from the Mario series in it, that was definitely a big step for Nintendo, and it's something that I appreciate. I don't expect Rob to come back in any form, but it's definitely something that was interesting and unique at the time. Now, the last thing I'm going to cover is the music in this game, and I do definitely, there is some other soundtracks that I do love for other games, but this one is pretty good. It's on the better side of some of the Nintendo soundtracks I've heard, and everything about it just makes the game fun. It allows each different experience to be something unique, because I would always go back to the Rainbow Road music, and I just love how the music in this game fits with each of the different courses. Noah said that with New Super Mario Bros., but Nintendo's done incredibly well on the DS. Maybe not so much on newer consoles, I'll talk about them when I get to them respectively, but definitely all the soundtracks in this game is amazing. I'll put them in the background of this video. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Electropunk, and I'll actually have AJ's channel link in the description. So, thanks for watching the video, and yeah, watch out for the next video.